Hello guys and welcome to the new video of your Python and API development course. In this video, we will be setting up a Hello World app in Fast API and we'll see that how it works. So before starting, I hope you all have downloaded and installed Python and VS Code in your local PCs. And if not, please first install and set up VS Code and Python and let's get started. So here I have opened the documentation, the official documentation of Fast API, which is at fastapi.tangolo.com. And if you come here, you will see that this is what you get. This is the documentation of Fast API. Here, everything is written about Fast API. What are the components? What are the functions? What can we use? How can we use everything? So we need to start. I'll guide you through it. What we'll first do is we'll go to the tutorials, we'll go to the user guide, and we'll see that how to set up Fast API in our local environment. Okay. So it says that first we need to run this code, but before that we need to install Fast API all. And in this Fast API all, two things will be there. This is Fast API and this is UVCon standard. So let's start with this. So we'll just go to anywhere in your PC you can go. You can create a new folder. Let's just name it Fast API course. Okay. You can name it as per your convenience. I'll go inside this folder. I'll press a right key. I'll open this with VS Code. If not, you can directly open the VS Code and browse this folder in it. Now here it is, the VS Code has opened the folder. It is empty, so no files are shown in the file explorer. So what I need to mention first thing here is that whenever you are working with any Python project or any Fast API project, anything, first set up a virtual environment. First thing you should do is set up a virtual environment, activate it, and then do anything you want. What this benefits us? So this is a very good practice to always set up a virtual environment before starting any Python project, anything. Why? Because whenever you set up a virtual environment and your project or app works in the virtual environment, it is cut off from your local machine. So what it means is that anything that happens in your local machine will not affect the working of your virtual environment or your app, and anything happens to your app or inside your virtual environment will never affect your local system. So you do anything wrong, you download any wrong module inside your virtual environment, it will not affect your whole system. And similarly, it mainly benefits when you have two different versions in your PC, and in your app needs different versions. So you can set up a virtual environment. You can download the version of a particular module or particular thing in your virtual environment, and your app will only work with those modules that are inside your virtual environment. Okay, so how to set up that virtual environment? It's very easy. What you just need to do is you should need to go to terminal, or you can press Control Shift and backquote key, or directly Control and backquote key. And I'll just open the new terminal. And what we'll do is we'll write a command, Python command, to first build the virtual environment. So it is Python -m venv space the name of your virtual environment, and we'll name it same venv. I'll press enter. So it will first develop a virtual environment for me, not activate it. Okay, it will just develop the virtual environment. So it's working on it. So it is under development. It has developed. It has some folders inside it and some scripts inside it. So when you will see that the terminal has ended the process, it will give you with another line. So it means that your virtual environment setup was successful. Now we need to activate this virtual environment. So what we'll do is we'll say dot backslash venv. Okay, then scripts. Then I'll say activate. So what it's doing is it is going into the virtual environment folder, it is going into the script, and it is basically activating or running this activate.bat file, or it is executing this. So it will run this and you will see that here a VNV is written. So now anything I install in this particular application or in this particular folder with whose path is this, anything that I'll download will be in this virtual environment and will not affect or disrupt the flow of my local system. Okay. So now let's see that what we need to download. We'll go to the Fast API documentation. It says pip install Fast API all. You have to write this. What it means is pip is the Python installer, which is it is used to install different Python modules in your local system or in your virtual system. And install means to install, and this is the name, which is Fast API, and all means that it will basically download every dependency that is required by Fast API to work. I'll press enter. It will download many different modules which are needed for the working. See here, it is collecting different packages, and then it will install these package. Next thing what we need to do is we need to pip install UVCon standard. What is this UVCon? So UVCon is nothing but basically it's a interface which will generate our server. So as you all know that when we worked with API and when we tested its API endpoint, every time when I was explaining you how it is working, I was telling you that whenever we generate a API request, it goes to the server and server will respond it. Now when we are developing our API, what is our server? Our PC, our laptop, this is our server. So if this is our server, we need a interface that can build or that can visualize or make us visualize that server. That's what UVCon will do. It will be an interface of our server. So we will just so here it is saying that don't go for the version, just see that it is successfully installed everything right here, and it is versions are also written. So now I will run this pip install UVCon standard, and it says requirement already satisfied. So if not, it will install it, and that means that I've already installed it. If not, it will install it for you, and then we will come here. Okay. Now let's set up our app. What I'll do is I'll go here. I'll press this new file button. I'll say main dot. I'll make a Python file name as main. So keep it the name same main dot file. What I'll do here is first, I will import the Fast API class from Fast API module. What is the first thing we did? We did was to install this Fast API module. Now I want the Fast API class from it. So I'll say from this Fast API module. Okay. Import Fast API class for me. Fast API class for me. So what it will do is it will import this Fast API class from this big Fast API module. So Fast API module is big and many different things are in it. We'll see that what are, as we will look deep into how we will develop our APIs, we'll need different functionalities. We will import different classes and modules from this Fast API module. But right now, to start our first step, we need only this class, which is the Fast API class, and this is the base class, mainly the basic class that we need every time we'll need. I'll just define the variable name app, and I will say this Fast API class, and then so what I have done here is you already know that I have made an object of this Fast API class. Okay, so I have made an object of this Fast API class. Now I need to define a hello world request, a hello world endpoint. Every API, how do we call a API? We define an endpoint, we generate our requests on endpoint. So to generate an endpoint, what I'll write is at app dot get. That means any get request on my app which will be on a route. So I need to define a route here. Okay, see here path. path or route. So I'll just say slash. Slash means default. So we have seen that when we are working with endpoints, I've told you that there is the base URL and then you have the path. But what if I don't specify any path? Like here, I've just written a slash. I've not defined any path. That means that whenever a GET request will be initiated on the base URL itself, no path, just the base URL, then what you need to respond it with, what you need to return it, how you will respond. So you define the function hello for it, okay? And I'll just say that whenever a request will come, you just run this function which is returning hello fast API world, okay? So what it will do is that whenever a GET request will be initiated on our base URL, it will return hello fast API world. Now, what is our base URL? We'll see. Now here is the role of UVCon come. UVCon will run our server, and what it will do is it will run our server on localhost 8000 port. So the fast API application they generally run on localhost. Localhost, what is localhost? Localhost is when you are running your server on your PC and you are running it locally. You are not running it over the web. You just want your PC to access that. So that is a local host. That is limited to your particular PC, your particular laptop. It is local, and host means that it is running a server and it has different ports so that different applications can work on. So this fast API works on the 8000 port of it. So if I okay, so now what I'll do here is I'll run this command which is uvcon.exe main colon app hyphen reload. What it will do is it will run the uvcon.exe file which will make my PC or laptop a server, which will provide a interface to my PC to be a server. Then it will run my main.py file so that my server can work for this API that I have developed. And then this hyphen reload, this signifies that whenever I will change anything to my main.py file, it should be reflected or it should be reflected in the server. So it will reload the server with the new changes, right? So let's run this command. As soon as I run this command, you will see here it will tell me that which port it is running on. So it said that UVCon is running on HTTP colon slash slash 127.0.0.1 colon 8000, which means is that this is running on the local host 8000 port. Now, what is a local host? When my laptop acts as a server to all the local things or all the things that are connected to my laptop, it acts as a server, then I can say that my laptop is acting as a local host. Okay, and that 8000 port is occupied by my API. So if I open this here, you will see that it said hello fast API world. So how this came here? So whenever I run any URL on my browser, it puts a GET request so it generates a GET request on that link. So for example, if I write google.com here and I press enter, so it will generate a GET request on https www.google.com. Okay, and I get this interface. Similarly, it generated a GET request over this link. Now you will say that if it generated a GET request over this link, then how come hello fast API world is written here? Because it was that app.get, and here a path is specified which says just a slash, and here it's a whole URL. So what it signifies here is it signifies only the path, not the base URL. So whichever request that will come to this link, which is http colon slash slash 127.0.0.1 colon 8000, or slash. I can write here a slash also. Okay, it acts as the same because it generally or it is the default path. So any link, any request that will put a get request on the base URL, which is this, then it will be respond. The request will be responded with hello fast API world. To make this more clear, let's define another path, which is app.get. Now I'm just defining path, not the whole base URL. What is my base URL? My base URL. What is my base URL? My base URL is this. This is my base URL. Here it is written that it is running on this. So this is my base URL. Okay. What is the path ahead the base URL? That I'm specifying. That if no path is there, if it's the default just a base URL and a get request is there, return hello fast API world. So my browser can generate get request. Why? Because my browser cannot send any body or anything else, so it generally generates get request for any link that I enter in the search bar. Now let's say just generate a new path which is new. Okay, and I'll define a function new for it, and I'll say that anything, if any get request is generated to this new slash new path. Now I'm defining a path, then return this is the new path. Okay, just return this. Now we'll see uh, as soon as I save this file. Okay, it said watch file detected changes in main.py reloading. So now it reloaded and it said application startup. So it again restarted the application as there were changes. That what the reload flag that we applied here, this did. That when I changed something, I did not need to stop the server and again start the server. I just saved the file and it reloaded the server with the new changes. So now this was the default path. If I write new path here and I press enter, you will see that it returned with me. This is the new path. So this is how the fast API basically get requests work. Okay, so we will talk more about these get request. We will talk more about the post request. We will see query parameters. We will see headers in the next coming videos. So this video was all about how to set your virtual environment, how to set up your fast API environment, and how to set up a basic fast API app. I hope you guys enjoyed. Till then, see you guys.